Welcome to week 3 of our SAT vocabulary study. This week, all of our words are verbs, action words. First up is abscond. And to abscond is to leave or depart suddenly, and most often secretly, in order to avoid being found out or getting caught. Usually this has something to do with someone taking something and leaving with it quickly, or someone doing something they shouldn't have done and leaving quickly and secretly. You'll hear this word sometimes used when you hear about criminals who specifically steal things, or you may hear it about individuals who embezzle money from their companies and leave town with the money. Here is Sparky, and Sparky hasn't yet absconded with something, but he's thinking about it. And he says, okay, I'll wait until Mom goes back out to the patio, and then I'll quickly abscond with one of these juicy burgers. No one will ever catch me. So he hasn't done it yet, but he's thinking about it. So our next word is retract. And this word has a couple different meanings. We're going to focus on just one this week. And that is the usage when someone says something that they want to withdraw or take back, whether it's a statement or some sort of opinion, and they say, I'd like to retract that statement. They don't want anyone to remember it, although it's kind of hard to take back something you've stated. Newspapers often will publish incorrect, or when they publish incorrect material, they will write a retraction. Sometimes in a courtroom setting, you'll hear something stated by a witness, and then the attorneys from one side or the other will say, we'd like to have that statement retracted or stricken from the record, as if it never happened. Here's a picture of James Harrison. James Harrison in his Steelers uniform, and then James Harrison now in his Bengals uniform. And Bengal fans might want to retract all of the bad things that they've said about former Steeler James Harrison now that he's wearing our colors. So he wasn't very well liked when he was with the Steelers, as are any Steelers for that matter. But of course, now that he's on our side, we think better of him. And to be honest, he's pretty scary, so I'd retract any bad thing I said about him. Next, we have nurture. To nurture something or someone is to encourage its growth. Another word for that is to foster its growth, or to promote its growth and development, to bring up. And when I say something or someone, often you hear this in regards to nurturing little babies, or teachers nurture their students, their love of reading or something like that. But, people who are gardeners, they nurture the plants that they grow. Notice, I guess I should go back here. Notice that on the previous words, the forms, because we have verbs, we will change the tense upon occasion, depending on how we're using the word in the sentence. And as always, adding an ed, ing, s is what's appropriate when we change the tense. Obviously, for the word nurture, you would add just a d instead of the ed. And when you're adding an ing, you would drop the e from the word. And the noun version is nurturer. So here we have immerse, and immerse has two different meanings that I would like to cover this week, both of them. The first usage of immerse is more concrete or literal meaning, in that it regards something concrete that you plunge or dip into a liquid. In science class, for example, you may have an experiment where you've got some sort of liquid and you put some item in it and try to evaluate what happens. So that would be immersing it in that liquid. The other usage for immerse is a little more, is less concrete, and it means to fully involve yourself in some sort of activity or task. Sometimes when we start reading a really good book, we become immersed in it and can't, take our eyes off of it or can't stop reading. Same thing with a good movie or even a video game. You're totally immersed into it. I have pictures for both examples here. The first one, we have a student here, Mallory, immersed herself into her essay on the 60s, spending all her time on getting it just right. The second example is little DJ here, his after-school snack. Before DJ eats a chocolate chip cookie, he completely immerses it in a glass of milk to get it just a little soggy, which is really yummy. So immerse, 2 meanings. I'd like for you to know both. Finally, this week we have deface. And to deface something is to mar or mark it up or mess it up. Some sort of surface or the appearance of something is messed up. It could be disfigured. Occasionally when you're in the car and you're driving around and you might see an underpass, a highway or a bridge that has graffiti on the side of it, and that surface has been defaced with the graffiti. Or you might see a mural where someone has messed it up, they've defaced it. Or even a picture of someone on a magazine cover and someone decides to put a mustache on it. That's defacing it as well. And here's one of the old-fashioned desks like we used to have at the old Turkey Front Middle School. If a student is caught defacing a desk in Miss Delaney's room, and other teachers as well, you can be sure that he or she will stay after school and clean all the marks on all the desks and tables. So no defacing. All right, that ends this week, week 3 of our SAT vocabulary. Please remember that the quiz won't be this week, it will be the week after this. There is no additional vocabulary homework associated with these words this week. All you need to do is make sure your notes are taken from this video and placed in the appropriate page in your ILJ. We will fill in the opposite page sometime during the class week this week. So you'll be doing your assignment associated with the words in class instead of out of class this week. Have a good evening. Thank you.